Originally from West Palm Beach, Florida. Mixed media is definitely a good label on me because I dived in so many worlds. My name is Nathaniel Rios, also known as Energy in the dance world. In the artist world, I am Tunes UNOe. So the name Tunes came from, I was actually in French class back in high school. There was a guy who actually wrote graffiti from the Bronx. He asked me what did I really enjoy as an aesthetic when it came to art, and it was just cartoons. So right then and there I was like, I'll go by Tunes. I ended up using UNO instead of one because me being Puerto Rican, based on generations, numbers are kind of separated in the name. So with me, I decided instead of going one like everybody was, I decided to go Spanish, UNO. And I added E at the end just to say UNO. I used to say UNO all the time back in high school. So I was like, alright, Tunes UNO with an E, so it says UNO. Art's kind of been in the bloodline throughout my whole family. So many creatives in my family. My mom's originally a painter. She did a lot of oils and acrylics. So art's kind of always been in the house. I started just copying comic books. Marvel Comics, Steve Ditko, Todd McFarlane. I used to always just copy them. So I was always copying character design. And then once I got into the graph world, learned about typography and lettering, and then the actual stylization of the characters. And then from there, I literally combined those worlds and I developed my own style as I got older. So I didn't get formally trained, so I moved up here in Orlando about 2011. 2011, I moved up here in Orlando for Full Sail, and that was my first actual fundamental art class. I could draw still life, and I would sit there and I would draw. I would just be so bored because it's just something that we all see all the time. Compared to if I see something, flip it into a cartoon, you're kind of tapping into your imagination, and now you have a dialogue compared to okay, yeah, I can see where that is, and I can see that's realistic, and it's like that. In my opinion, that's what made me trigger to go with cartoons and more animated feel. But I still grab from the still life because without that, you won't have the ability to make something imaginative in a way, because you still have to have a touch of reality. So as I create as an artist, I'm literally going back to that 5-year-old, 12-year-old kid and just sitting there, all the stuff that made me happy at that moment. Honestly, it's my way of staying young, not growing up, especially in this world, especially when you have adult life. I really would want to word it more and more, but it's just honestly just staying a kid. It's just my way of just keeping the innocence and just staying young, just staying that kid, just creating what I want to see. I consider illustrators storytellers because illustrations in general is a story. You're illustrating an idea or you're illustrating a concept, now to make something more personal. So it's not just okay, this is cool on the surface level, really, really personal. People really understanding what's going on, and especially what's going on in today's time. It's a lot of social issues that should be talked about that a lot of people are kind of ignoring or just overlooking or not even noticing that's there. And then I think with my aesthetic too, being cartoons, it's really contrary. I really wanted to flip the switch, so aesthetically. So when you have a cartoon, you really just think they're happy and go-lucky and everything's nice. But then really tackling something strong, you really flip the switch on somebody. So it's whoa, that's what he's talking about? So as an artist, I want to communicate, but I also want to communicate to others that they have a voice as well. So it's not just me speaking, actually, again, open dialogue for them, that they have the opportunity to speak just as much as I am. As I'm maturing, I kind of realized that it's not as much about being cool or something being oh man, it's beautiful. It's more about what's the conversation that happens when you look at it. When I kind of realized that, I said, all right, I'm gonna start creating dialogue instead of just now making things that please myself. I'm actually wanting to make stuff that actually either it's deeply rooted in my past or my community compared to just me, myself, and I. In reality, for me, the biggest thing is inspiration and being able to have a flame ignited to do the same exact thing in my perspective and speak my reality. Yo, I'm being me to 100%. You should be doing you for 100%. I don't care if it looks my way or your way. It's just the fact that you're bringing 100% to the table. And then if I can do that to someone else, someone does to me, then that's the end goal.
5 of the Bible.